Okay, right, part two. So you can see the stage that I've managed to get to. All the oil's been drained. Engine's out, obviously. And I've disconnected this top tank. So I'm going to get this tank out next. And then once this tank's out, because I've already disconnected all this, I can get this these two pipes off, and then this whole crusher body unbolted from here, and then I can lift this crusher body off the chassis. That then means I can strip the rest of this chassis down, get it so that I can get to a point where this can then be put on a pallet with all the other bits ready for shot blasting and painting. It's going to be a lot of work to be done on this, and I still haven't got the jaw out, and I want to do is get this crusher body off so that I can get this in a position where I can get this jaw out. That's going to be the most challenging thing. I've still got to get the ram out, but that'll be much easier to get to because I can get to the back of the ram here when the chassis is out of the way. So once I've lifted this off, I'll concentrate on getting this ram removed. And yeah, so it's going to be a slow process, but as you can see, still a lot to do. These are the parts I have removed. These you get put to one side. Quite a lot of welding to be done by Gary, various bits and pieces. So we'll show you that process as well. Tracks can come off, idlers, sprockets, etc. I've got to drill a hole here for the voltage indicator, which is an addition that I've fitted. Various bits to do anyway. So yeah, next job, we're going to get the top tank out, and then we're going to remove this crusher body off the chassis. Okay, right, managed to get these two pipes off. They were seized on. These three bolts that hold the tank in, they were seized. Managed to get them undone. I've taken this off now. These electrical solenoids, which are on this valve, they were seized on, as were the nuts on the end. And I've had to prise those off with a screwdriver, but I'm probably going to replace this anyway. These have a habit of sticking after a while. So what will happen is the ram will move, or rather the solenoid will move to let the oil flow to make the ram move. Because it's stuck open, the other solenoid will kick in, but it won't move, and then it stalls the engine. So I'm going to replace this anyway. But I'm having trouble with this one. This will not come undone. The Allen key is spinning. So I'm going to try and drill it. If that won't work, I'm going to have to weld something on the top to undo it. So next job is I'm going to try and get this undone. So crusher box is lifted off. I'm going to crowbar this bottom section off now, and then I'm going to take the ram out. Okay, right, ram has been extracted. As you can see, bits off the back. Obviously we've still got the problem with the jaw, so I'm going to come back to that another time. For the moment, I'm going to leave this. I'm just going to take the, can't see, but there's a bracket there for a battery that's going to come off. And now we're on to this. So I'm going to take this bottom frame off. And once that's off, I can basically slowly take this apart. So I'm going to take all these pipes off up here, take the valve block out, take the motors off, tracks, and strip this down into component parts. So next job is to take this bottom plate off. Right, so chassis plate has been removed, and here you go. You can see a problem now. All the machines, they have a build-up of crud and dust and what have you over the years on top of the tank. and in here it's impossible to get to this. There is a plate on the front here, and this is basically where all the adjustments for the tracks are. Now, you don't actually adjust the tracks on these, they're self-adjusting, but you do have to wind bolts in to get the tracks off. So I'm actually going to tackle that now. I'm going to wind the 2 jacking bolts in and get these tracks off, and that way, once that's done, I can take this off and get all this cleaned up. That's a hydraulic tank there. That'll be dropped out once all the rest of the chassis is cleared up. Another disaster. So these nylon blanking plugs have just snapped off. So now I've got to drill them out, which is not going to be easy, but I can drill them out to a point where they should then just unscrew. So that's the next job. Right, so now I've got to a stage where, as you can see, I've taken the tracks off. I've managed to wind these 2 bolts in. Got all this out from the front here. This is all caked up, so I'm going to get the steam cleaner out and clean all this off, clean all the sub chassis. I'll clean all this off, and then I can get to the bolts to remove these drive motors. What I'm going to do is actually leave these pipes on and just disconnect them up here. And while I've taken these pipes off and disconnected these should drop out. I don't need to take the pipes off, that saves a bit of time. Pipe to come off there, which is the outlet for the tank. Pipe to come off there, whoops, there. That's the feed for the top tank. And then I've got a breather pipe, which is here. That's fitting down there. Once that pipe's off, I can then drop the tank out. All this then can come off. And then that just leaves me to take the front axle out. Once I've done that, I've got one more electrical item to take off, which I can't get to. It's the 2-speed tracking switch. I'll take the hour clock out. That'll be replaced with a new one. This one's done 194 hours. Drill the hole in there, then this chassis is then ready for powder coating. I don't think there's anything on this that Gary needs to do, so that'll be useful. I'm going to concentrate on getting this section done and stripped down now, because what I want to do once that's done is put that to one side, and then I've got to concentrate on getting the jaw removed from the main crusher box. That, I think, is going to be the worst job of all. The other thing I've got to get Gary to do with my help, we've got to put a sub-chassis on top of this that matches the other machine. I'll just show you here quickly. I've got to basically get some of this made and these side weights, and then they bolt onto specially made brackets. Now I've got to make sure that they line up exactly for this and this to all go together. So that's going to take a bit of measuring and engineering to get over that, because they won't give me the drawings to get a new one made. That's going to be probably the biggest hurdle. I think once that's all made, I should be okay after then. So next job is going to be, as I say, steam clean this down and strip this entire unit down into component parts.